Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Witchers, wizards, sorceresses, sorcerers, all those kinds of folk. To the long road to Novigrad, a Witcher TTRPG mini campaign. We're down 2 players. Hopefully, we will have our fourth, our priest, join us later in the session. But for now, we have 3 lovely players. One who is new to the mini campaign. And as we do whenever we have a new guest, we'll go through, reintroduce yourself, introduce who you're playing, and then we'll begin this session proper. So, Panda, I mean, you don't have to introduce yourself to the guest. You already know who he is, but introduce yourself and who you're playing anyways.
Hi, I'm RedPandaCola, your local Nordic panda folk, and tonight I am playing Vidar of Yngvar, our titular Witcher. I mean, not the main character, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Mr. Rat King, who are you and who are you playing?
I am playing Averan Glintlitter. I don't want to say sleazy. I mean, our majestic mage. Yeah.
And the one, the only, the Arclight Court.
Hello, everyone. I am Ark or Arclight Court. I'm a TTRPG content creator, game designer, and writer, and homie to all the homies here. But tonight, I'm not playing a homie. I will be playing Osvaldo Serpe, Witcher of the Viper School.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought everything just died. You said Witcher of the Viper School and then silence, and I was like, is it me? Is he? Did I? What just happened? Good news. Our priest got the time wrong, so they are on their way. If you see me check my phone, it's because I am responding to them on Discord. Because if I swap screens on my computer, everything gets fucked up. So hopefully we'll have them soon. That's funny. We're gonna start this session not with the party, but rather in a little inn, quite literally called the Inn at the Crossroads. I've shared a interactable map in the Discord. If you want to open it up, Ark, to see where you're currently located.
Let me grab that right now.
Yeah. While you do that, I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Sorry, everyone, for that knowledge.
There we go. I got it. Yes, I consent to the cookies from this website so that I can see all the cool stuff my friends are doing.
Okay, so, very funny. Just for my own sake, because I don't want to blow my nose for 5 years on camera, I'm gonna put us on the BRB.
I'm glad this
Okay.
was-
So, apologize for that, everyone. Great way to start the live stream for Ark's first session with us. Our priest player isn't joining us right now, but they will be hopefully later in the session. Ark, did you find the inn at the crossroads on the map?
No, because there's so many pins
There
on this
is.
map.
So you can hide. There's an
I was
option to
gonna say-
hide all of them.
Hit hide all, and then
Um,
you should be able to look for
And if
town
you
signposts.
see a large, oh yeah, you can just activate signposts, or if you see a large looking village in the middle of a lake, that is Crow's Perch. And then if you go up a little bit, you'll see the inn at the crossroads. But yes, you can just activate signposts and then look for Crow's Perch and inn at the
Would
crossroads
be
as
to
well.
the north, east of it.
Big map.
So
big
look
map.
for the signpost that says Castle Village, and then go northeast.
You know, we're just gonna go as if I've already found it and we're fully aware.
Yeah, that works. So, where we last left off, we saw a witcher exiting the cellar of an inn with the head of a monster in their hands. The camera didn't show us a face. The camera just showed us their arm holding the head of the vampire and walking out of the inn. As the camera turns to get a good look at them now, what do we see? Who do we
What-
see?
The audience and the omnipotent viewers and enjoyers of this will see is in the flickering light and flame left within this inn. In the light, a green-eyed gentleman, very young, somewhere in his early 20s. His hair is short, black, very choppy cut, almost like the person who did it hated him. There's like flakes of silvered hair inside it. A not muscular in the sense of like a bodybuilder or a strength lifter, but a very athletic build, like tight cabled muscles wrapped around the skeleton inside his body. Sharp nose, probably had just shaved before the sun went down to ensure that any of the decoctions or elixirs that he would be using in this fight wouldn't get filtered through the stubbled facial hair. The clasp of a viper head, mouth open, tongue hanging between the teeth, is more so tucked, and you're just seeing the impression of it through the black shirt underneath. As we meet Osvaldo, just holding the head of this Garcane, looking for the person who unlocked the door so he could go down here.
So, the fun thing about that, as you exit the cellar and up into the inn, it is abandoned. You had to either kick down the door, cut down the door, whatever you did to the door. You yourself had to remove it.
That explains a little bit more. Well, with that into consideration, then that would have been a crushing grab to whatever lock or door handle was on the front door to lead in, and then the door to the cellar itself would have been crushed and broken. And now in the little flickering lantern light that he left in this abandoned tavern, that as the light passes over him, you see that his skin is very taut, almost grayed. There also looks to be a small bit of like almost like stone protrusions around the collarbone, around the ears, that like look like they cover over weak points or soft muscle tissued areas of the body, as well as that. Oh, and the already taunt grayed looking skin also looks very thick. And if you looked very close, it almost looks like the layers of skin have become wyvern scales, still in the same pigment of his own. As those, the mutagens he needed active to pummel the entire life out of this Garcane, still active in his body.
As you leave the inn to the start of a rising sun, this is earlier in the day, before the party has arrived to Crow's Perch. But the reason you're not there yet is because it's quite a walk from Crow's Perch to the inn at the crossroads. You walk outside, and what would normally have been a nice, cozy place for travelers to take a rest or take a moment pause is now a charred and burned down husk of what it used to be, with the inn being the only building that is still barely standing. The few other buildings that are in this little area burned down, ransacked, the large gates that block entry bashed down inwards. One of the things you would have noticed having entered the inn at the crossroads and exiting the inn now proper, there are a few banners that fly in the wind that are slightly charred. But the thing that catches or caught your eye about them most is the banners aren't cloth or any other substance like that. It's human skin. And you would, doesn't unnerve you, maybe, because you're a witcher. You're a viper witcher. What unnerves a viper witcher? The Garcane is too dumb to have done something like this. Someone did this before you and the vampire arrived here.
I'm looking at these flayed tapestries. What symbol or marking is on them?
Very funny. I need to go look through a chat I have with another person.
While you're doing that, Osvaldo will commit that iconography to very carved memory. And while you look and identify, he's going to, still holding the head of this Garcane, go to some of the carts that might still be left and abandoned, just tries to find some kind of like sack, burlap, cloth, something dense enough that sunlight isn't going to pierce through, that can hold this, but he doesn't mind if any fluids leak out of it from carrying it either.
You can definitely find a burlap sack. Grab the head, stuff it in. It bleeds through. The symbol that is essentially branded into the skin on these banners is the symbol of the witch hunters. It is a kind of half symbol. One half has a bunch of arching lines on it, and the other half is the symbol of what could be like a phoenix. And it's not a painted symbol. It is carved into the flesh on this burning banner.
Deeply committing that symbol and iconography to memory. What do I know of the witch hunters, at least leading up to this point?
Okay, I'm gonna ask for your first roll here of the game. Let's see what that would be. I think it would be education. If you don't have points in education, it's just D10 plus the main stat.
You got it.
If you get a 10 on the D10, it explodes and you roll again.
That is a 17.
17. Okay. The witch hunters are a fanatical, inquisitorial group dedicated to the persecution and eradication of magic in the large cities, in the regions. They are known to kind of be the soldiers, if you will, of the Church of the Eternal Fire. They don't like mages. They don't like sorcerers. They don't like sorceresses. They've been known to work with a witcher on occasion. But that
Has
witcher is also Geralt of Rivia.
Actively stated, like, yes, they are our soldiers, or are they just crusaders to the Vatican during the Holy Crusades kind of thing?
It is a very well-known thing that they're
in fact the soldiers.
Yeah, the Church of the Eternal Fire. The witch hunters are sanctioned by the Church of the Eternal Fire. It is a known thing that if you're on the bad side of the church, you're on the bad side of the witch hunters. And God's forbid you're anything but a human. Because they will... Not only are they known for hunting down magic users, they do not like non-humans. Dwarves, elves, witchers, anything they would consider a freak.
I mean, even this is a little bit more barbaric than I think the church is privy to. Any coin, any drink that's left for the rest of my walk back to turn in this head, I will gather and start my long road
to Crow's Perch. That's not the campaign. As you leave, as you get ready to leave and step over the busted down gates of the inn at the crossroads, you actually see 3 figures approaching you. 2 of them have swords on them. They're all armored. 2 of them on the left and the right have swords on their sides, crossbows on their back. The one in the middle has a pike in his hand. You recognize them. They are the Baron's soldiers. And as you like exit, stepping over the gate, they take pause, and the one with the pike in his hand kind of shouts your way and says, "Oh, Witcher, the Baron sent us to collect you if you were dead. But it seems that you're not quite dead yet, eh?"
At an unnatural speed, I am standing maybe 3 inches away from him.
They jump back a little bit. He jumps back a little bit. You do see the other two guards do like go to grab their blades on instinct, but he kind of like shuts them down. This middle guard, I don't have a name for him, but he has been the one. There you go. He has been the one who has been at the side of the Baron all the while working, or you've been working with the Baron. When the Baron requested your presence after learning about who you are, he was at the Baron's side. So he's kind of like, not necessarily the right-hand man to the Baron, but he's who the Baron sends.
Yeah. It is very much a... This is a normal, don't yell at me response that Osvaldo has probably given to Calum in calling down halls from in the Baron's Keep or outside across the courtyard. It has always been I am immediately right in front of him. Like, you waited until I was 90 yards away to yell something. I was just right next to you. But as he gets over to Calum, he just like holds the bag and puts it in the chest of one of the like other guards that are standing there with him. So go ahead, hold that. That's
grabs it.
You're in charge of that now. Don't let that blood get on you, though. It'll eat through everything you're wearing.
He's looking at it and like grabs the very tippy top.
Pouring.
Yeah. He grabs the very tippy top of the burlap sack, and it's just pouring. Yeah.
So, all this in a night.
He looks back behind you towards the burned down inn at the crossroads. We heard about something going on down here. That's why we sent men to investigate. And when they didn't come back, that's why you were hired.
If it wasn't like this when I passed through yesterday. Your men were got before this, then.
You're saying this isn't what killed our men? And he points to the burlap sack.
Oh, that definitely killed the people you're talking about. I'm talking about that. And he just very pointedly to the sundered town behind him with flayed tapestries hanging and sported over large points and perches.
This used to be a nice stop, this. You know, if you're still on the job, the Baron's looking to reform the surrounding areas. I'm sure he'd pay even more.
I want you to notice my contemplating face. I'm thinking very deeply about this. I'm plotting and identifying all of the possible...
Which I will let you know. You will be the first to know. Osvaldo, you know the Baron's name. you actually know his name beyond his moniker. You know him as the new Bloody Baron, but his actual name is Bresmord Dale. Breszmorddale.
And he would never this. If he's been trying to reconnect, rebuild.
You know, like I've informed the other party members in sessions past, the new Bloody Baron has been a violent man. He has been hanging people. He's been taking limbs for stealing. He has been a violent overseer of the regions. But that's where his violence lies. He'll hang you.
Yeah.
He'll put you to execution. You do not know him.
It's individualized.
Yes, you do not know him to burn down a village and leave.
In the claim of the church as soldiers of the church, if he was doing it, you would know it's him doing it.
Yes.
If he was a part of it, there would be an active statement to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, tell Bresman that I'll do it.
Good.
I am going to need some supplies. Because that's not a one-man job there. Pointing back at the village and everything that was done.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be one man taking care of it.
I'm sure that the Baron is more than willing to give you anything you need. That's why he sent us out here. He sent us out here to make sure that you weren't dead, and if you were, to collect you. And, well, you're not dead, so... And he like, makes mention of himself and the man carrying the bloody burlap sack. We're your escorts back to Crow's Perch. And he points to the other guard. You. See what you can find, and then report back. Basically sending the other soldier into the inn at the crossroads to have the guards' information.
Yeah.
You know? Not that they don't trust the word of a witcher, but, you know.
Hey. Caleb, I figured after all this time you'd understand simple conversation with me is the best. It's fine. I understand. It's all business. It's all part of the duty and chivalrous code of a knight that you must keep to your baron. But I could... And I push the bag that's in the other guy's hand towards him, so the blood goes onto his armor to see how he reacts. It's in one of those, like, gestures, like, just wide open, sarcastic gestures to bump the bag into him.
He definitely freaks out. What is... I think the reaction for a regular, everyday, like, guard being told, hey, this thing's blood will eat through you, and then it being pushed into him, he freaks out a little bit, like, he's jumping, like, he immediately goes to holding the bag back out, but then... Not... Your everyday person doesn't know, really. I mean, people know witchers, but they haven't interacted with witchers, so he freaks out and then looks to you to see if you're freaking out.
I'd be careful.
Oh, let's just get you back to the keep. I need a bath.
You know the fun... You don't have to worry about anything with me. You see, the problem is that men kill men. Monsters kill monsters.
Oh, he said the thing on his character overlay. He said the thing.
Are you a monster? Looking at the guard holding the bag.
No, I don't think I am.
Oh. You'll be fine. Caleb, you need better men. These are weak. And then just walks next to Caleb, turning to head off.
As the three of you turn around and head towards Crow's Perch, we jump back to Crow's Perch. As we go to the secondary courtyard where we find our other Witcher, the Bear Witcher, and the priest, who's not with us yet, unfortunately.
Air Witcher?
Yes, the Bear Witcher and the priest.
You mean wolf?
Oh yeah, you're a wolf. You look like a bear. In the secondary courtyard of Crow's Perch, where I believe the conversation was how to get in with the Baron, the new job about the flying beast beyond in another town.
Yep.
You know that you left Averan back in the little tavern, and Cinead aided you in getting within these walls by being a distraction. And now you have this bounty for a flying creature in your hand, and a bounty for a beast in the night that has already been claimed.
Yep. So knowing this, just to make it short and sweet without describing too much, they're gonna head back to the tavern to find Averan. So,
Well, very funny timing. Before we do what you do, the priest is on his way. So we're gonna hit the be right back screen again. And we'll be right back as we get our fourth player.
break 2.
Yeah, break number 2. welcome off the second BRB this time. Now we have our priest player with us. We had introduced everyone at the very start, and despite what I said to Panda, you and Ark knowing each other, Luke, introduce yourself and who you're playing anyways.
Hello, my name's Luke. I'm playing Dorvic, our one and only priest. Our witchers now outnumber everything else. No, you two. Okay, so it's just me. We need another priest. is where I'm
Yep,
going.
2 mages, 2 witchers.
What's the deal?
I mean,
And then we'll be
technically,
officially a tavern joke.
you might be getting a priest later on near the end of the campaign, but they're not going to be so nice to you, I don't think.
I was about to say, sounds
Pretty nice to me.
not gonna be good.
But we had just introduced Ark's character and his relationship with the Baron, and we had shifted back to Crow's Perch, where we left Dorvic and Vidar off in the second courtyard, discussing the Baron, discussing
Right.
the flying beast and the secondary contract, as well as, I believe, what you have heard about this other Witcher. And that is where we've left off.
Last I remember, we were talking about like what it means to be a witcher and
Yes.
monsters and stuff. We were getting in a really kind of deep conversation right here for some reason.
Right in the middle of this courtyard.
Yep.
As one does.
Right. So, what should we do next? You have more experience with these things than I do.
If anything, we should get the others and get them involved in this. Frankly, I couldn't care less and would rather go after this beast. However, the main reason why we're here is because of Jebber. And his goals. And given I know that man well enough, disregarding that is not going to end well for anybody. So, for the sake of it, we should just get back to them and explain what we found. And knowing him, he's going to push for the more simple means of getting in there. Hey.
Well, we should still ask directly, I guess.
Try for the best. The whole reason why we all came in here to begin with is to avoid a pointless death. So we should at least keep to that plan.
Mhm.
Shall we?
All right.
Alright. The two of you leave the first courtyard and head back down towards where the actual civilian living is, or the, peasant living is. You do see Cinead still kind of making a fuss with the guards about his donkey. But you're able to grab him and you're able to walk back to the tavern. As you walk back to the tavern, we're going to go inside the tavern, where we last left Averan, having schmoozed with one of the barmaids, and getting some drinks for it as well. What
Right,
are you doing?
A perfect timing, actually. I just remembered what I wanted to do last time, just now. So I will look over at the bar tender or whatever, and ask them if there's a trusted local apothecary or something anywhere, or uh, like a medicine woman or something. You know, someone that a doctor, or what they would consider a doctor, I guess. Or a botanist.
They would tell you that I know of one, but you're not going to be able to find them here in Crow's Perch. They're out of town, a bit outside. It's a bit of a walk.
He'll ask which direction, and he'll also ask, is it like nearby the road or something? Like, is it something that like you could easily miss, or?
No. You should be able to find them. Last I know, they set up shop near Midcops, which is the town you all just came from.
Oh, is that the direction they're heading, or?
He tells you that's where they have like a house just outside the town of Midcops.
We're not gonna have to pass through that area again anytime soon, so right?
Unless you want to go backwards away from the long road to Novigrad. The long road to Novigrad.
No, right. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what he's doing right now. He probably now is like, well, F me, and we like ordering another drink.
You order another drink, and I'll say it's about now, because it's not a far walk. The Witcher, the priest, and the other mage walk in, and you see Averan with maybe a hand on his head, rubbing his forehead, ordering another drink at the bar. What do you do? Not all at once. You're just staring at a man drinking.
Okay. He's just gonna head up to where Averan is, having been dragging our other member along with us at this point.
Cinead?
Yes, Cinead. And he's also going to look around to see if Jebber's in the area.
Alright, give me a... Let me look at skills here. Give me an awareness, please.
I don't know how the hell I managed to do a 0, but I managed to do a 0.
Oh. Okay. He does not appear. You do not see him within this little tavern.
Oh, that's annoying. I'll find him after.
Noticing Vidar walk in, he'll like look over at Vidar and be like, "Oh, hey, Vidar. Looks like we missed the only apothecary for a little while. That's gonna suck. I hope we don't have to rely on too much of mystical means for healing."
We can only hope that's not the case. However, found out a few things.
Oh, do tell.
He'll motion over to a table away from everybody else.
Saying that sensitive data is about to be transferred, he will cancel his order of like a drink, and he'll have some tea delivered, and he'll go over to the table.
Okay, yeah, that can be done.
Yep, and assuming everyone's sticking together, he'll head over, see it, before pulling out the sorry, the bounty for the creature, and then
Mm-hmm.
also the other bounty that specifically mentions, looking for witchers, if any is seen, point him in the Baron's direction.
Osvaldo,
Yes.
how obvious are you? If you know what I mean. I say that as being a witcher. How obvious are you?
Obvious that he is a witcher, not very much. People looking at him, that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as that would be considered, but he has been through this town previously a handful of times working for the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
So people would recognize him, and maybe some of the guards that he's had Calum swap out from his own personal retinue within the city to be the ones walking with him or working with him. That might have led to a little bit more information leak of, oh, that's the Chimera, or that's the Witcher that the Baron's been working with recently.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone, they just look at him. Yep. There's always something different about him every time he walks through the town, but it's the same person.
I ask because, as I mentioned, your introduction took place a bit further back. So, the events of last session and the party in Crow's Perch have been happening while you've been walking back to Crow's Perch. Mm-hmm. So Vidar, as you all get a seat and the tea is delivered, and you show the bounties, the one that says the flying creature and the one that's been accepted by a witcher. Cinead, grabs the paper, is looking at it. We'll say you have a seat next to a window. He's looking at it, and he looks out the window. He looks at it, and he looks at you, Vidar. And he looks back out the window and points and goes, "You mean like that one right there who's getting a full escort from the Baron's men?"
Well, then turn his attention specifically to look out the window.
As soon as Averan sees this, right, and it's brought into his attention, he's gonna look over at our priest friend and be like, "Hey, priest, what's your order think about gambling? Because I feel like we might want to join the lotto."
Well, see, from my perspective, it's all going to be fate, whatever happens. So, participating in gambling is just putting yourself in the line of some path. I don't care what you do.
And as you all look outside, out the window, you see about what has now grown to about 5 soldiers around you, Osvaldo. Calum at the lead, the one still holding the burlap sack a bit behind him, and then 3 others who have joined you on the approach towards the proper keep of the Baron. And for Vidar, for Dorvic, for Averan, you see what was described in the intro, but we had a missing player. So Osvaldo, do you want to re-describe what they see as they look in the middle of this guard escort?
Absolutely, since it's currently daytime too, and not the low light of a left behind lantern in an abandoned tavern that I'm climbing out of the cellar of. A very young, early 20s witcher. Not so much glowing in the sunlight of the day at this current time, but green eyes, short, choppy hair that looks like whoever did it hated him. There's like the small strands of gray that are peeking through all of the what's remaining of the hair on his head. And now with the light, you can see the blackened gambeson and leathers that he's wearing are fiber enchanted. They're protecting from bleeding or the extraction of his own blood in some way, shape, or form. gone is the cloak, because that I think he gave to the soldier that was holding just the burlap sack, so it doesn't freak him out anymore. No Witcher long swords, but what look like one-handed long blade cleavers, a silver one and a steel one behind the back, and a handful of what look like medicinal scalpels for like bloodletting or filleting up the spine of the armor itself, and a couple of side pouches filled with who knows what, however maybe, and a Viper Witcher medallion sitting on the front of the armor. And Osvaldo's looking at one of the guards behind him and is like, now, the symbol's like this. And there's like just a small bit of magic on the palm of his hand as he's recreating the symbol of the witch hunters, so that they can keep an eye out for any of those tapestries, bannerets, things of that nature approaching nearby by any means.
And the three of you see this. You see this guard escort and this Witcher.
Looking out, seeing all this, his eyes probably, if it is blatantly obvious on the chest, pick out the medallion immediately. This will be complicated. Enough.
Do we go talk to him or just sort of ignore this?
Cinead probably also
Yes,
joins in
yeah,
saying that
school.
and goes, probably says something like, yeah, you gonna go say hi? All Witchers know each other, right? That's how that works.
No.
Yeah, what's the secret handshake?
Can we know the secret handshake?
We're not allowed to know, are we? It's okay. You guys keep your secret. She's gonna try the tea.
Much
Is the
like
tea good?
you mages and your schools, there are different schools of Witcher. Different methods to slay beasts. Some prefer other methods, some are more flexible and only focusing on beasts. Honestly, I haven't seen another Witcher in a while.
And to answer your question, Averan, the tea is decent. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's tea that you would find in a middle-class tavern.
The moment that it's not like good tea and it's just like meh tea, he's gonna like take a sip and just bleh, right back into it and just kind of put it down.
One last thing they did forget, there is what looks like a wooden dagger in a sheath on the front of his armor.
And they seem to be passing by the tavern unless someone wants to go interact with the other player of the campaign. You don't have to.
I will be going into the tavern.
making the guards take a stop.
No, they can keep going. I'm making Caleb come in the tavern with me because I need to take that request off the board in here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said I was doing it and it was stamped. I gotta grab it.
If you
'Cause I have to make sure
are,
it's all official, as Caleb reminds me.
if you're making path towards the tavern, Caleb and the guard with the bag, the bloody bag, he tells him to wait outside. he does tell the other guards to like wait. This is your escort. But he follows at your back to lead into
You
the
guys
tavern.
need to stop listening to this man. Go do something else. And we'll turn and push the bag towards the same guy who's holding the bag away from him. Push it towards him as if I missed the door accidentally.
Yeah. You do that, and then like if you push open the door immediately after, Caleb doesn't immediately follow in because as the door closes, you can hear him saying, "Don't listen to him. This is official business by the Baron." And then he follows you in, opens the door again.
We have this same thing every time they have some kind of escort with me. I tell them not to listen to Caleb. Caleb tells them not to listen to me. It's just this ongoing cycle. I walk in and the matron.
It's the patron, the man.
Patron.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a guy behind the counter at the bar, and there are several of his barmaids running around. Which I say several because it's The Witcher. The intention is the barmaids are his daughters.
Gotcha. Right to the bar, and I go, "Please tell me you haven't moved the bulletin board for a 5th time in the last 2 weeks."
I haven't moved mine, but I hear they keep moving the one up in the courtyard.
No, I need yours. And we'll turn towards his bulletin board.
It's a lot smaller than the one in the Baron's courtyard. It's very much like a 1 or 2 postage stamps, but there is still a post here because the Baron put out a massive call. If you see a Witcher, give me a Witcher. So I love the image of Vidar finding the one in the official courtyard, but you grab the one from the tavern.
Yeah, because if I take the one from the courtyard, Caleb is going to complain that he had to send someone else out to the courtyard to put another one out on the one in the courtyard, because that's more billboard than it is bulletin board.
Yeah.
This is a bulletin board. I'm grabbing this one. I've already made hell for the guy carrying the head in a bag, so go over, grab that, and then make sure that it's the same one.
Beast in the
And
Night,
what's it?
all the details.
Anybody fun stop in while I was gone?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the barkeep wasn't paid to be discreet. He points to a back table where he points towards Averan, and the others at the group. And if you turn your head, Averan, you're more flashy in your clothing, right?
Yeah, I was right. And then also the moment that like they point and go like over at us, Averin waved, "Hi, I'm Fun."
Fun. Caleb, I'm gonna have fun. If you don't mind.
I'll be waiting outside. Don't kill
The
anybody.
official. Why would I kill someone in a place where I'm getting paid? That makes absolutely no sense, Caleb. Plus, they like me here, and that's rare.
Before the door
Here
closes.
The official questing paper of the creature in the night. The head is in the bag of your scared little guard outside.
As he goes to leave, like answering your "Why would I kill anyone? What murder?"
What murder?
You just hear him say, "I've read the stories. I know what you witches are capable of," and then he leaves.
You always mutter when you walk away, but you know I can still hear you. And I just continue the walk towards the table of fun, as I have been informed. Do I recognize the people at this table from information that's been spread and given to me over the last few days and weeks?
I want you, for me, to roll a. Let's see. What would this be?
I've got Streetwise, and I also am infamous.
Yes. So I'm gonna have you roll a Streetwise with a, let's call it a +3 bonus.
Okay. Okay, so if I roll a 10, I roll it again and
Yes.
add that to it?
Yes.
Okay. So we're
They're
currently
20 guys.
we're currently at a 23. 30 total.
30 total. Okay. I'm gonna start in order of the overlays. So we're gonna start with Averan. Well, first of all, you've definitely heard of a group traveling the road.
It matches descriptions and things that I've
It matches descriptions. You've heard about a flashy figure going around, and whenever they leave a town, some woman is scorned. Considering it's kind of like a calling card, you might have heard about the burning dicks left in people and creatures.
The dick wizard.
So he's sitting at the table.
I was expecting the pikes, but okay.
Turn your attention. Nothing has to be said. Even if they try to hide it, you're staring at a witcher. You're looking at another witcher. Even if you can't see the medallion, even if the medallion that Vidar has is hidden, you see the eyes, you see the armor, you see the swords. This is a witcher. Canonizing my mistake in the beginning, to you, you initially think that's a bear. This man is the size of a bear. This is a bear witcher. Until you see his medallion. You look over, you see another mage, a bit more mousy than the other one, not as flashy. But he still has a look in his eye like, oh, wow, another witcher. And then...
The lost wizard.
Yeah, and then you look over, there's another figure you haven't heard much about, but in the few days that things have been happening, you've heard about a very odd case of a priest willingly joining this group.
Yeah, Nehalani's most unlucky priest. Immediately I'm walking over.
Yep. And that's who you see at the table. The flashy dick wizard waving you down.
Sorry, the flashy dick wizard?
Yep, the flashy
Yes.
dick wizard.
Oh, it's either flashy or flaming, one of the two.
Someone
Flashy
had
dick wizard. If that's not on my tombstone when I die, I'm gonna be really upset.
someone add that to the quotes channel for me real quick. Flashy dick wizard waving you down.
Sorry, Dick Mage. Panda says.
Dick Mage, yes, I apologize. Dick Mage.
Yes.
A cock sorcerer, if you will. Never mind. We'll keep going.
That's something different.
Commander.
You guys are interesting, I've heard. I've actually heard of you, which is astounding. Why are you here?
Cinead, like, looks towards Vidar and, like, nudges him, like, talk to the Witcher.
Just kind of looks at Cinead like, what does he expect? Or turning to him, so not only are you the one who took the job, you're the one who completed it.
I make it a habit of not leaving a job half done. You
Turn
look
the
so
hell so.
discontent for the early hours. Not get much sleep last night?
hard to sleep when
Howling at the moon.
around.
I understand.
Oh, not everybody can be close to the ground.
It lets you hear everything that's going on. Priest of the goddess of luck. Was it stay the path and it's not created, you find yourself in luck or in fortune?
I have been drawn to these people. I've visions to follow. I go where my guidance leads me.
The tenets I've heard of priests of Nilani, that's the correct words for it, right?
What was the word you were checking? Sorry.
Oh, stay the path, and luck isn't created, but fortune is found.
Yes. Great.
Dick Wizard.
What's up? I guess that's the title.
Well, there's been mention of a mage branding phallic shapes into the people that they contend with, fitting the beautiful clothing that you're wearing and the obvious already smitten daughter of the barkeep. I assume that would be you.
I don't know. Actually, Averan's clothes aren't really like if you're trained in etiquette, then you could tell that they are a little bit. They are the clothes of someone that is trying to appear not as well off or wealthy, but also isn't willing to let go of certain creature comforts, like internal silver, silk linings and stuff. There's the tells.
I do have some points in etiquette, but the giveaway is the branding of phallic shapes into people, and the descriptions given by them afterwards.
Well, to be fair, some people, they they act like dickheads,
Fair. Completely agree. There's opportunities to let the whole world know without needing to question whether someone is a burning dick or not. Are you guys here for one of the Baron's missions?
You could say that.
Have you spoken with him yet?
No, not yet.
Would you like to?
We'll look at the others.
We need to.
I'm going to go receive my payment for the Dorvic.
Would that sound familiar to me?
Do you actually need the name, or are you giving them a false?
I'm trying to make sure that I'm saying the name correctly.
Garcane?
Oh, Garcane.
We went from a G to a D.
Yep. I'm going to receive payment for the Garcane.
Vidar, you can give me a
that.
Witcher training.
18.
A lesser vampire. One of the
Yep.
middle ground vampires. They fight like feral beasts, but they're smarter than your average feral vampire, but dumber than your regular disguise into human society vampire.
Yeah. That does fit the description on the posting. Breach of the night, people going missing.
There's another one that I've been informed of. I don't know if there's been post about it yet.
Talking about the creature out east of here, flying, causing havoc.
The wyvern? No, I dealt with that months ago.
Different posting.
The noon wraith? That was like, so that was even further back.
You're not aware of it.
Osvaldo,
I just
you
got it
see,
down.
you see on the table, is another posting that they were looking over. You may have seen this one on the boards before, but it wasn't one that was important to you. The Baron said, "Go kill this thing," and you went and killed this thing.
Yeah.
So if this posting was there, it wasn't in your.
It was like,
future.
I'm not as worried about
Yeah.
this by any means. I need you to deal with this thing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember. Bresman had that one, but he said it wasn't as important. Well, apparently it looks like it's become more important.
Well,
You
it's the
want-
only job that's worth doing now.
I've got another. Something you might be a little bit more interested in than I typically am, but I'm a little upset.
Well,
Does it look like any of the matrons or anyone else is listening or paying attention to anything?
Give me a awareness, please.
I'm also paying attention, like actively, because I had for visual reference, I purposely put it to where I would have as much view of everything around me as I can.
You can give me an awareness as well, Vidar.
20.
Okay.
That is a 26.
All right. Both of you kind of give a glance around, looking around. There are, people coming and going. And well, not really coming and going. There are a few people in the tavern. Looking out the window, you can kind of see that a few people might get stopped by the guards and are told official business inside. Wait a little bit. The few people in the tavern don't seem to be paying attention. Other than every now and then you do catch the barmaid doing one of these towards Averan. But no one's actively listening in or watching.
Okay. I let him. I tell them that the village north of here is where that Garcane was. Just past it in an abandoned tavern. I was hiding out there. I went through that town in the morning, spent the afternoon to dusk preparing, all of the evening dealing with the Garcane, and when I came out, the town was sundered, and tapestries of flayed flesh were hung from perches and points with the witch hunter's brand on the skin.
We all know about these guys, right?
Yes.
As soon as witch hunters are brought up, Averan goes from his goofy kind of waving at barmaids and blah 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 and blowing off what's going on to becoming really serious, and was is now actually kind of paying attention to what's going on, and he looks kind of pissy.
Well, I see there. The Guardian's reach has gotten this far.
Problem is, it shouldn't be. Especially not in towns protected and looked over by Bresman. And it happening as fast as it did in a place that I walked through less than 12 hours prior.
Short period of time, there must have been new numbers. Large.
I don't think it's been made publicly.
Averan, it's odd that they took a whole village. Like, the witch hunters are not my favorite people, but they have the people that they target. So an entire village seems odd.
Unless they
Even
believe
for them.
they're all tainted. Or a message.
I don't know if it's been made public yet, but I do know that there is now a request to contend. That's another reason why I'm going to speak with Bresman, is I need some equipment, I need some provisions, I think I need a dick wizard, a lucky priest, a lost wizard, and such a good boy.
Cinead will look at Vidar and say, if you're in, I'm in. This is our way to get to the Baron.
Averan will look over at the rest of the group and back at, our new Slytherin friend. And then, I don't need any reason to kill witch hunters. I've lost family to them myself.
Brand
there
them all
with
if you like. There are people in that town who didn't deserve that. Many people in that town did not deserve that. So, if you would like, you can all join me and you can meet Bresman face to face, and I can get you set up to join with me as a retinue to, we'll call it, aggressively investigating.
Would you say an aggressivation of... Sorry.
An ingrestivation? I should teach you the secret Witcher handshake.
You almost got me to spit my coffee out.
That's amazing. Almost spit take. That's so good. Unfortunately, our other Witcher is dealing with cat problems.
Oh. You want to do a quick bio break?
Yeah, let's do a quick little breakity break. We'll be back, folks, for our third BRB. We'll be back when the full group is here again. So, third, be right back. Everyone get snacks, get drinks, go use the bathroom. right, we are back from our third break of the live stream. I believe what was being offered by the new Witcher Osvaldo is essentially a meeting with the Baron. All three of your other party members, Vidar, seem to be in, and it is just turned to you.
Gotcha.
And I did call you a good boy
That did happen.
in that offer.
He's just gonna stare you down for a moment. Sure.
Well, let's go. I've already got a dedicated escort waiting outside.
Why do I imagine he just like hard S?
Sure.
It's like Geralt from the TV show. You know, his hard F for fuck. Sure. All right.
Well, if you would like. Get up, walk towards the door. I tell the barkeep to bill the Baron for whatever it was that Averan was drinking as we're leaving.
He nods his head because who's going to say no to a Witcher?
Good call. Open the door, push the bag.
You all exit the tavern. Calum is standing there. He has his pike in his hand. You guys see a bunch of other soldiers out there as well. As you all kind of exit, he looks at you, Osvaldo, and says, "Supposed to just bring you back. Who are they?"
They're the other retinue that will be joining me in that issue from the village north. Want to make sure the Baron sees exactly who will be a part of it.
I'm not gonna make you roll anything because you already stated you have a good back and forth with the Baron and his men. He does look over the other.
At least with Calum, I have a conversational rapport with.
Yeah. He looks at the others and says, looks back at you, Osvaldo, and says, "I think we can get you supplies, but I can't promise anything about them," and points to them. "I can't promise the Baron's gonna agree to anything, but I can still take you there."
My supplies are their supplies. Their supplies are my supplies.
He turns to March and says, "We'll see if the Baron agrees with that."
I've got a bargaining chip. It's fine. Also, don't touch the bag that guard's holding. If you do, you'll be cursed with infertility for the rest of your life.
I like to imagine you say that like the guard's already walking with Calum, like he can't hear this.
But the two that are my actual escorts, they definitely heard it.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything in particular that any of you are in an absolute need? Because I'll be wagering my pay for things that you'll need. My provisions will be covered.
Looks at the others. Well,
Supplies to the road, I'm sure, but other than that, like, I can't really think of anything.
Well, common travel supplies, rations, bit of water, that understandable. I'm talking about in specific for branding people, for ensuring prayers are heard, to make sure the dog has a nice bone to chew on for later. Is there anything in particular?
And this is I will throw this in. If any of you want to look through the equipment and weaponry in the ancient tome that we call the PDF, you're more than welcome to do so.
And I'm sure he's throwing a couple of rats for you.
Well, I mean, you see who's following me. I get on nothing but the best vermin.
One of the guards behind you goes, "Hey."
I told you you should have just stayed on the wall. You shouldn't have listened when Caleb told you you were getting a special assignment, that you were going to be appreciated and given honor and respect or whatever he promised you. You were better off sitting at the wall. I can only ensure the provisions and requests that I'm going to make for this mission, but I am wagering my payment from what I have just accomplished to help you all get whatever provisions you may need. This is the Bloody Baron we're talking about. And if he's asking for witchers to contend with hunters on his land that shouldn't be, I'm sure he can make some exceptions. Points at Cinead and goes, "We can get you a nice new book."
I don't think I need a new book, but I wouldn't say no to he holds his blade. A better blade.
What kind of bullshit? He takes the blade from him, looks directly at Vidar like,
and it's a let me get it right. It's one of those long stiletto blades.
"See, fucking you're roasting chickens on this. Is that what it is? You're catching the hair and piking it over the fire with the, what is? You let somebody allied with yourself walk around with a needle."
I'm not responsible. Decide to carry.
Nah, no, Mr. Wolfman. You decided, and your school decided that they were also interfering with the course of man, and you have mages with you holding knitting needles protecting themselves. And then hands it back.
The first word being the operative key phrase of that entire diatribe you just went on.
I love Averan's just like, wait, in this back and forth between two witches. Wait, excuse me.
Good sir, good. I do actually have one more request, if it is something that you could potentially ask for me. You see, I believe that there might be some times that the Baron or his men have possibly confiscated some material of a mystical means, and if they could potentially be relinquished to me, that would be very grateful. I would be willing to do almost anything for such a thing, actually. Knowledge is the most important of any journey.
Caleb look like the type to brand dicks onto people.
Does Caleb look like the type?
He's making a observational statement to Averan of they don't use any of the magical shit that they might have confiscated. We can definitely make that can definitely be a reasonable thing, because no, they don't know how to use any of that. They just put it in a box behind a wall. Caleb pokes things with a spear, pike, whatever he wants to call it when he's feeling frisky.
He's like a bit ahead of you all. He's at the front of his escort, but he still says, I thought you witches were supposed to be the quiet types.
I thought you guards were supposed to be chivalrous.
Those are knights.
Not Caleb.
It's
Not
clearly day.
He is the right-hand guard to the Bloody Baron himself.
You know, despite all the good work you've done for us, I cannot wait to get fucking rid of you.
You'll miss me the
Actually-
moment I'm out of those gates.
So Averan will look over at the guard and like start counting how many of his fingers and like limbs he still has, and be like, "Pretty impressive."
Honest man.
If we're still making requests, I know that I've been successful with this crossbow, but I'm much better with a regular bow. But
Short,
I'm not prepared for this.
long. We're talking about shoulder height. We're
a
talking
short bow
about.
would probably be more convenient for the road.
Okay. Do you have? Look. Do you have like a quiver of bolts for your crossbow?
I assume so. Yeah.
Do the guards behind me? Do they have a bow and quiver on them?
They all. Let me actually pull up their sheet.
Users.
They all carry crossbows.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he used to be on the wall, so there should be an empty bow. That'll be more than resourceful for you. You're gonna need to swap those bolts out, though. Not gonna fit.
Say at about this point, you've passed through the first courtyard and have headed into the main courtyard of the Baron's Keep. Very interesting. Although you've been here through a few times, but the others, this is their first time now. There's a large tree in the middle, dead-looking tree, like giant tree, branches all crooked and whatnot, but dead. The buildings that surround, like the stables and the main keep, they look livable, obviously, but they have the look as if they were once burned. A fire once occurred here, and this is what they were able to save, essentially. Like, the buildings are charred, but are still usable to live in and stay in and house in. Like, they've been rebuilt. Tiny little garden off to the side. There are several other, guards in here. This is the main keep. Calum leads you to the main building, up a set of stairs, and into the building proper.
I take the bag from the guard that's been carrying it the whole time.
As you're walking away, that guard pauses to talk to another and says, one of the other guards in the courtyard, and says, "Take over for my watch. I need to go take a bath." And then he runs. And another guard joins the escort. But you're led inside. As you're led inside, most of the escort stops. It's just Calum leading you into the building now. Pauses at a door, knocks on it, opens it up. You can see a little past him, a large table in a long room, and the figure of a man with his back turned, standing there. And Calum says, "Baron, I've brought back the Chimera like you've requested. Not dead, thankfully. And he has some others with him that you might be interested in speaking with." The Baron, still with his back turned, says, "All right, very well. Let them all in. Go check on the other guards, Calum." Opens the door for you all, and he does look again before he goes and leaves. Osvaldo, he says, "Don't try asking for too much. Stay in your line and I'm sure he'll give you what you need.
I got my chip. And I'll tap like the back of our wrists
Mhm.
to one another before Caleb leaves.
And he heads off with the door open for you all. And the Baron's still standing there, his back turned. You can see him looking at a mount, a sword mount that has a dark black blade on it with various jagged edges in it, almost like a sword catcher. You know how it has the jagged, but it doesn't look to be a sword catcher. This is a weapon to maim and cause as much bodily harm as possible.
When we walk in, are there the like tall standing candelabras, like the ornate ones that are in here?
It seems to be like, yeah, there's a large table, like a dining table almost. There's the various chairs around, candelabras. It's a very nice looking room.
I take the tall standing candelabra from next to the door and just carefully like snuff each one of the candles out as I'm taking them off. Baron, I have good and bad news.
He turns around, and you all get a look at him now. The Baron seems to be a middle-aged man, slick back, black hair, clean shaven, but aged in the face. He is wearing dark leather armor, like stained black, from chest, arms, legs, all the way down. This dark leather armor as he turns, and says, "So, the Chimera is back and alive. What is this bad news first?"
Bad news first. The church is hunting in your lands. On people who aren't tainted. Ilk or magic. Just people. And they use their skin to make tapestries to hang from the perches and precipices of what remained of the buildings and homes, walls of that town.
Roll me a human perception.
Human perception?
That's kind of like your insight.
That's empathy.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't my strong suit. It is when I get a 10, though. So it's currently a 13. 13 with 7 for a total of 20.
Are we in the room right now?
You are in the room
Yeah,
now.
I led you all in as I grabbed the candelabra.
You... The
And
Baron...
made your blast or edict.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. The Baron doesn't outwardly respond. Like, he's not verbally responding to you. It's more so you see the response in his face. Yes?
I have human perception. Could I make a roll?
Yeah, you can roll.
Thank you.
And we'll say, because my empathy is so low, this is just the only real reason why I'm actually seeing this is because of the amount of conversations I've had with the Baron. Enough so that I do know the Baron's first name. That's why I'm able to pick up on this.
The Baron, and same thing with you, Averan, the Baron doesn't have a verbal response. It's very much like you tell the Baron this, and then he waves it off. But you can see the responses in his face. He seems very... He gives you a look of... anger, but not direct anger. It is anger in the moment at knowing this. It is anger in knowing that someone else did this. But it's not a direct response. He's not reacting to it. He's not telling you this is what I'm gonna do. You know, he is just visually responding to the information and then going, now what's the good news?
The good news, after I've snuffed all of the candles and I've put them on one of the like small serving trays that are on like a side table that would be used, with the tall standing candelabra, he takes the head of the Garcane out of the bag and just kind of like skewers it through the middle candle holder of the candelabra, and then walks it over towards the head of the table where the Baron would sit, and just kind of puts it by the fireplace where that sword is. Your creature of the night problem is dealt with.
Were you able to bring back any of the remains of my men, or were they all gone?
Their markings, their identifiers were given to those who met me outside of the village.
You've done good work for me, Witcher. I believe payment is in order.
I have an interesting bid for you there, Baron.
Do tell. Does it involve... Looks past you. I don't know witches to make friends, but... You come
No,
into
that
my...
one did, though. And points at Vidar.
Either way, you come into my keep, bringing guests.
Yes.
Might I know who they are?
Well, first, the why, I think, is more important, so you don't feel as abhorrently disrespected for unaccounted for faces and interactions. Caleb said you'll be looking to have this dealt with.
If the church is trying to set foot on what I claim as my own, just like the Nilfgaardians once did with the old Baron, yes, we will find issue with this.
And to save you the time writing or speaking with a scribe to compose it, I'm already offering my services as well as the services of those behind me for, we can call it an aggressive investigation.
Aggressive investigation sounds a lot nicer than taking the sword and trying to fight the church.
You can't exactly cut the head off of a church, but we can aggressively investigate actions of the church.
He kind of pulls out a seat and takes a seat and offers to the rest, like holds out his hand for the rest of you to sit at the table. And he says, so, then tell me, what does the infamous Chimera propose?
Well, you, in your greatest I want you to know I'm only dancing around the words because of the company that we currently have here, and I want them to understand that there's a level of communicating with you that is acceptable compared to our private conversations. The Bloody Baron doesn't take kindly to those hunting in his land. I know that investigating this would be somewhat of a top priority for you, so that you are not having to put any of your own numbers in the way, any of your greater minds at work to something that where they should be here, making sure that none of those aggressive plays make their way to this keep. You take my payment from this issue. Allow that to be subsidizing for whatever necessities this group might need. I'll put in my request separately from theirs. And we will begin this aggressive investigation. And you know that I'm not a monster who leaves a problem half finished.
I'm going to ask for a persuasion. It is under empathy, but because you, the real life player, have persuaded me so well, the GM, you'll get an additional D10 to this roll.
Okay.
For persuasion.
Hey, that's pretty good. That is a 12 plus 7, 19 total.
Okay. I agree that if someone goes causing issues in the Bloody Baron's land, the Bloody Baron deals with it himself. I do not appreciate outsiders causing issues. I like the idea of sending you to deal with this. And I will agree to the terms, but first, he kind of stands up with his hands still on the table. I want to know who the four of you are. Looking towards Dorvic, Cinead, Vidar, and Averan. I've worked with him. He has killed monsters for me. He is known. Who are you? As he asks that, I want all of you to give me an awareness roll, please.
Myself included, or am I good?
You included.
God damn it.
I rolled so bad. 12.
38. 2 10s and a 7.
So, Dorvic, you notice someone enters the room. That's about it. You notice someone enters from a side door, and then immediately, like, they appear to be a guard. And then you go back to looking at the Baron. The guard walks in, before I get to the other awarenesses. The guard walks in, and says, "Oh, Baron, I brought the witcher's payment, like requested." The Baron pauses, looks, and says, "I didn't call for anyone." With the awareness of the 18s from Averan and Vidar, you look towards the guard at this moment, and they look like a regular guard for the Baron. They're wearing the armor. They're wearing the equipment. Except they're not equipped with the weapons. It is odd. They have a crossbow, on their back, like the regular guards of the Baron would. But Averan and Vidar, he has a sword on his back that you clock is way too big for the average person to be wielding. You've seen this sword before. This is the large greatsword of your mercenary friend. With a 38, right? A 38?
Yep.
You see this, Osvaldo. You see this guard who looks like a guard, a regular guard of the Bloody Baron, with this, what I once described as ice from Game of Thrones. The giant fucking greatsword that Ned Stark wields in one episode. On his back. He has a pouch in his hand. What looks to be filled with crowns. Something's off, though. You've been in this keep, in this village for a while. You know most of the guards. You know this guard. You've seen him around before. He's not one of the main guards. He's a guard off to the side. Maybe he mans the wall, but you've seen him before. Two things. One, something about his face is wrong. If he has a mole on the left cheek, it's on his right cheek. If he has a scar under his left eye, it's on his right eye. Or on his left eye, it's on his right eye. His face is wrong. And the second thing, with you being a bit closer to him, before it hits Vidar, your medallion's humming.
I leap from the seat next to the Baron into... How do I describe... When large cats, predator cats, attack any other animal that's bigger than them, there's like almost a latching and grabbing with the claws into them. Osvaldo is that onto the chest of this person, but in his right hand is that wooden dagger, and I'm plunging it into the neck, through the soft muscle in the neck of this person.
I want you to keep that. I want you to keep that description at the ready. This will initiate combat. This will be Osvaldo's attack going into the next session. Because what happens is, as you go to pounce, you're immediately up. You've pulled the dagger. You're going for the leap. Vidar, you catch eyes with this guard, and for a split second, you make out an amalgamation of voices. This guard's, you hear Jebbers, just an amalgamation of voices, simply say, "You weren't supposed to find out." And he draws this massive greatsword as he readies himself for this pounce. Osvaldo, Vidar, he is almost as fast as both of you. That is why I want this to be your first attack, Osvaldo, because he, as quickly as you pounce, the greatsword is in front of him. And at the ready. And before we end for the night, as I've stolen from a great GM for another campaign, the camera pans out of this room. The camera leaves the chaos of the inner keep of the Bloody Baron. And it goes along the long road to Novigrad. And we find ourselves at the front of a bridge with a long line of people seeking entry into Novigrad. There's a whole host of guards at the front of the bridge. We see a civilian walking up, trying to enter, but the guards stop them. One of them approaches and says, "By order of the Church of the Eternal Fire, we have to search every last one of you. You are to hold here until we make sure you're safe for entry." And that is where we will end for the night. Normally, I would say we'll be back in 2 weeks to pick this up, but in 2 weeks it is Revenge of the Sixth, and instead we'll see these characters in a whole new universe, in a time, what was it, far away. That's Shrek.
A long time ago. Galaxy far away.
Yeah. So I was right. I was just thinking about Shrek.
Yep.
So in a whole other universe, we'll meet these characters once more in Star Wars for the long space road to Coruscant. When it was previously running, I had Luke or Panda advertise Set Sail, but that's not going, so there's only one person right now I want to advertise stuff, and you know who you are.
Yeah, Blake, so what you got? Hi everybody, I'm Ark or Arclight Court, TTRPG content creator, game designer, and writer. Tomorrow on my channel, you can catch a one-shot of Vocarium, my newest TTRPG that was released, game that I've worked on for 5 years that went from 800 some odd pages, and I cut it on down to 256 and finally published it after years of telling myself, no, it needs a little bit more. It's out now. Go to my website, you can purchase copies of it, but that will be featuring some familiar faces here tonight and maybe some other people. Who knows? But yeah, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing a one-shot of Vocarium, twitch.tv/ArclightCourt.
Hell yeah. And with that, with the advertisements done, I will see you all in 2 weeks for Witcher But Not. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you then. But for now, goodbye.